The last thing I want to add is currently this doesn't have a light, so let's add a light. So I'll come in and I guess we'll just basically create this where the head control is. So object, snap, cursor to selected, such as sort of wireframe, add lamp point, and then we'll move this down and we'll put it in the middle of the bulb, and we'll just call this lamp point or headlight. It's probably okay. And we're going to grab that, and then we're going to grab the head control and do just a Control P to parent it. So now that's part of the parent as well. And if I go to perspective view, and let's toggle on shaded view, and let me enable the GLSL so we can have real-time lighting and turn on textured. You can see right now this is currently what we have. Now the light that we just created, let's go down to head control headlight right here, which I can select. We want to go in and we want to adjust some things, and I'm going to turn on ray shadow. And if I go to do that and go to render the image, there's no light coming through at all. And that's because of the bulb. So there's a physical bulb that's actually in there right here. And if we go and we look, right there you can see that that object's causing the problem. Now the easiest way to fix this is I actually have a self-illuminating texture assigned to the bulb and nothing else. And if I go down to options, I can toggle off traceable, and what this is this is a feature that says whether or not you can ray trace an object. So I've turned that off, and now if I go to render the image, now we have the proper circle of the lamp, and that's set up and good to go. So as far as animating this, you have two options. You can do what we did before, which was basically you select one item, you hit I, you add a key to it. You can add keys for location scaling, etc. So you kind of have some adjustment with that. And let's pull up the graph header just kind of see what's happening with that. That can cause some issues. The nice thing about it is you can limit what actually gets keyed. The other way to do it, which is, let's just turn this on, is this is an auto key feature. Basically, anytime you make any transformation of an object at a point, it's automatically recorded. So if I grab and put this here, and then I move this to 20, and I grab this and I move it up in the air, and I move it to 40, and move it down, and then if I go back to 0, and let's do, well, that'll be flat. Let's go up in the air. And at this point, I'm going to rotate this a little like that. And then right before it lands, well, I'll go flat. So you can see we're starting to do this. And we can do this for all the objects. Now, if we start to look at this, you see this makes a pretty big mess. And there's a lot of keys that we've added. So here's the first one I added, which was this location. And then it added the additional of basically the rotation and the scale. So the problem with using auto key, and I want to make sure I turn it off, is that it creates what you could say basically would be a lot of noise. And you can see all these different channels. It's not that hard to go in and just turn off the channels. We'll never need scaling. Or you can highlight one and hit X, and it'll get rid of it. So that's one way, and then I can keep the scaling. And then I have the location, and I can work with these and edit them as I need. Now, that's not bad for one object. Now, if I select the, let's go back to the first key, and actually let's go here, and now I'm going to grab the lower arm control, and we're going to have the arm go up there, and then at this point, it's going to go a little forward, and then at 60, oh, I have auto key off, so we're not going to get any results. So let's go back to the beginning. Okay, there we go. Okay, so at this point, we're going to select the curve, auto key, and rotate that, and then we'll go up in the air, and let's say we're going to get ready to land. We land, and then we basically kind of correct ourselves. go back. So like I said, this isn't perfect, but kind of gives an idea of kind of what you can do. Make sure I turn off auto key. Now if I select this, I don't see any of the keys for the bass. So you see when I'm selecting this, it's going back and forth. So if you toggle this little cursor icon right here, it'll show you everything that exists that has an animation channel. So this is one way to kind of make your life easier. And probably the thing is once again, you can see there's all these different channels on here, but I can go in and I can either hide these or get rid of everything and just limit that one channel that I want to animate or control. And I can tell where it is just based on the fact that the curve is different as opposed to flat. So it's going to take a little bit of getting used to just to kind of get your workflow down, but that's another thing to think about. And then the final thing is to animate the light. I go back to grab the headlight. Two things I can do with this is I can make the name visible, which may or may not help if I can see it, but I can also do X-ray, and what that does is it means that I can always see that object whether or not it's selected, so I can come in and grab it. And with the energy, if I want to animate this and make the light basically do different things, well, all I need to do is right click and say insert key. Once again, it's I. And now move it somewhere else, and we can, at this point, do that. And I'm assuming I'm doing insert another key. And now if we go to animate this, the light is basically getting brighter as we animate it. So that's it for this demo.